Hey there. Coming at you with another fresh Age of Empires 4 game. This is a 3v3 I finished playing today with a couple of friends of mine. It is on Highview, which is a map that I really learned to love today. We've got, on my team, of course, I am playing the French again. I got my buddy Spaceman on English, and we have a lowercase here on the Russe. On the opposing side, we have Mass Driver playing French, Luis Vasquez on the backseat there, and then we got WPP Salive on English. Imagine these fellows were pre-made as well. I should hope so, at least. That would make it nice and fair. Anyways, getting into the game, we'll double it up. We'll get started and we'll take a look at what everyone's doing. I am here in the pocket on the south end of the map. We have lowercase on the Russe here to the east, and then to the west, sort of still on the south, but on the west, we have Spaceman here on the English. We'll switch it over to the other side of the map. We've got the opposite French is pretty much in the opposite position of me, also in the pocket. We got the opposing English player, Teal, sitting around on the east. And then to the west, we have the ambassador player, the purple, working on the western end. Now, one thing about this map that I'd just like to point out is all this stealth wood. Everywhere on the map that is tan here is stealth woods. And this, it's a blessing and it's a curse. It's very interesting to me. I really do like the stealth woods mechanic that they added here in Age of Empires 4 because I feel it adds... I mean, it's not the first time it's been done. It's like line of sight blockers in StarCraft 2 when they added those, and the gas vents and the grass and stuff. It's interesting to be able to hide in plain sight, so to speak. Line of sight being blocked by trees, and of course stealth forest, I think is one of the more interesting parts of Age of Empires 4 because it really does work well. The new thing, which is that, let's take a look at the villager. Outposts no longer cost stone. It's 100 wood, which is not a small amount. But in the mid to late game, it's definitely something you can spare if it provides a useful line of sight. So starting off here, everyone's working on their way to Age 2. I'm aging up with the School of Cavalry. The opposing French player is still macroing up. It does look like that they are producing villagers, but they're going to start aging up now with the Chamber of Commerce. Again, pop capped. The Teal player here is aging up with the Council Hall, which that's pretty standard. And we have the House of Wisdom up for the Abbasid player, going up with the Military Wing, which is interesting. Military Wing in the Feudal Age is good if you do intend on making use of that camel support, although I do feel like it is usually just better to go with the economic wing and get that fresh foodstuffs, because whether you're going 1 TC, 2 TC, to 5 TCs, it's just an excellent upgrade. Like, in the earlier you can get it, the better. So, military wing I think is perfectly fine for going to Castle Age. But yeah, I don't know. He could have probably done a lot better going with another wing. Networking. Okay, let's switch back to my point of view. Being in the pocket here, my goal, I've aged up and moved on to stone. I got enough gold and food gatherers to keep my town center going. Yeah, town center going. And to continuously produce knights. Come on. Yeah, well, I'm supposed to be continuously producing knights and villagers. And in the meantime, I'm saving up for a... There we go. I'm going to build a second TC here. Right here on this gold. I'm looking to secure that. And then kind of defend this area, expand my influence. I do have some vills on the berries because I have one hunt here, but I like to usually take 2 hunts if I can, if I'm feeling a little daring, but that's not really an option. I do have lots of sheep. But I want those to last a little while, so I'm not throwing too many villagers on that. I did want to take the berries just to sort of diversify where my villagers are. I don't know if that's necessarily the smartest thing to do, but I don't like to put too many villagers on in any one spot, just in case somebody starts raiding. I want to be able to have multiple places where food is piling in. We can see the roost player over here hunting, which of course he should be doing. Let's switch to his point of view. Looks like we're halfway to maxing out that hunting bonus, which is perfectly fine. We're still only about 10 minutes into the game, so if he wants to pull up and do that, I'm sure he can kill boars, figure out something to do there. Over on the side, on Spaceman's side, he is walling up, which is a great idea, honestly, and just especially as the English, you do want to control where the enemy can engage you at, because the longbows can't do any good for you if you need to maneuver. If that's one thing about the English, is that I do feel like they're one of the stronger civilizations in the game right now. However, their weakness is a distinct lack of ability. We do have an outpost coming up the corner, not 100% sure what this is intended to accomplish, maybe to get some line of sight over here. But with the wall, you wouldn't think that that would necessarily be necessary. Yeah, and then the houses up here, I think this is actually a good idea, because then he's getting like vision, which is good, because houses are relatively cheap. You gotta build a lot of them. There's really no sense in stacking them all in one spot. You may as well get an early warning if somebody's gonna come attack you. He does have some spears piled up, which again, they're hanging out here when really it shouldn't be an issue. My side of the map, I've got some knights sitting up front just in case I see someone come under attack or somebody tries to attack me. I do like to... Oh, speaking of which, green has come up, and this is pretty... It's a lot of spears. It's only got a few knights, but it's a lot of spears, and I don't like the look of that. So I do put up an outpost here. I'm not sure where he was going. Yellow does come to help. Roost player coming with some more cavalry. It just hit the castle age. And see, that's the awkward thing about this map, is that pushing up is hard because they can be hiding units in the stealth woods up here. And I did see 2 players at militaries, so I don't know if purple will be coming in to help them out. All I know is that I have military units from both of my allies in my base, so I am getting ready to start putting down houses. I got both my TCs going. I'm upgrading to veteran knights. Roost player is now in the castle age. Let's take a look at his eco. Looks like he's doing pretty decent. Maybe not as much economy units as he could have. Yeah. Fair enough, though. Alright, so I did start going archers just because I saw a lot of bowmen. Eventually, I'll be using these anyways because I'm going to switch into crossbows this game because of versus a French. French versus French, like especially like in a game like when I'm versus the French and the Abbasid, like I don't really like just massing lots of knights and just trying to force it. Especially considering the Royal Knights will probably be nerfed in some way at some point. It's probably best to not get too used to leaning on those. Archery range for the French is absolutely incredible because, of course, you do get to benefit from that cost reduction from the keep, which is why I'm putting this down, because I do intend on building a lot of structures around this and using it. It also means that if they do try to push in on me again, I got something to lean on. Actually, not maybe the best place for a keep. Considering I had plenty of wood, I could have put the keep up here and rebuilt these production structures there. But again, seeing the walls at this point, I felt like I was versus some pretty aggressive opponents, so I decided to go for just some palisades, just to try to create some chokes. Because this is a very open map, even though it does feel claustrophobic because of the patches of trees and the stealth woods. And on that note, I did get the idea to just start making outposts because I was floating so much wood. So as you can see, when an outpost goes up, it sees right through the stealth woods. So here, I mean, you have a massive advantage if they try to come attack me, because I can see them and they can't see me until I start firing on them. And then this palisade wall just kind of means that the enemy, if they come straight through at me again, I have something to fall back to. We can see the crossbows coming out now. Over here on the British side, we do have the Berkshire Palace coming up to defend these minerals. Take him to age 4, which that's great. He's teching up quite fast. What does he got for military? Yeah, veteran spearman. He's got a lot of spearmen, which is good versus the Abbasid. You can expect to see camels. And then definitely got the longbowmen out to go behind that. And I do believe the longbowmen, yeah, the longbowmen do have their raids coming in place. We got the camps, we have the tailings. The Roost player on the eastern side is moving around with his army and scanning the woods and trying to figure out where the enemy is. While me, I've decided to go a bit more into raiding. And again, I don't want this to get in me and my teammates' way, so I'm building gates inside the palisade. I don't think that weakens the wall in any way. No, you just have to spend a little bit more wood. So yeah, I have a lot of resources. I'm looking to spend things. I'm gonna be going to the Imperial Age soon. And that's kind of one thing, is my economy has almost sort of outpaced me at this point, and I need to figure out what to do here, because we're starting to get, yeah, we're like, you know, over 20 minutes into the game. The enemy team can be assumed that they are, oh. Well, Teal just got to the Castle Age. Of course, this isn't like the massive ELO games here. However, Teal does have a decent amount of troops on the ground, at least. So it's probably why he aged up so late, is because we have a relatively small economy for 20 minutes into the game. I mean, I'm a French player, so I'm 109 villagers. Not really, but like, yeah. Like, English is like 85, so the 85 villagers without any sort of like a bonus giving them extra TCs. 57 for the Roos. Let's take a look at the Teal player. 1 for them, purple player, and then we've got green sitting on 82. So obviously the green player is their strongest at the moment. Maybe not an optimal trade line. How much are we getting for these? Yeah, 18 gold each. These guys are going to take a while to pay for themselves. The Chamber of Commerce is actually a frankly great landmark if it's used correctly, but really he should be looking to build a market out here somewhere and then setting his traders to use that as their home market. That would be really good. You can leverage the stone wall that's already in place from the Abbasid player here. Myself in the mill, I am securing this gold mine. I'm bottoming out on gold is one issue. I'm just starting up a trade line here. I've got a few markets starting to make caravans. Mining away. I'm starting to build keeps and outposts along this side of the map. I do spy purple out here, which is funny. Purple just kind of decided to start mining with a few villagers out here. So he doesn't actually see. If he noticed, if he was really perceptive, he could see there's a, you know, there's the base of a keep or a building going down here, but that's really funny. Look, that stealth woods is insane. I guess they don't have the line of sight, but yeah, like this map is not very good for being able to see stuff coming. So I mean, the knights come down and take it out about as quickly as you would think, and things are starting. I mean, in a game like this, at this yellow rating, things are about to hit the ground rolling, because I am starting to get max upgrades for all of my units. We've got the Imperial Age coming in for everybody. Even Teal has caught up. He was already Imperial Age, actually. Got the White Tower and the Berkshire Palace up front. This is actually a great idea. He's got a lot of mangonels. He's got a lot of, well, a couple of springolds. Longbowmen, spearmen, and I mean, honestly, this is a good composition. Coming from the green player. We have a lot of production structures, so if he decided he wanted to make something, he could. I feel like the red palace sitting here is a little iffy. I feel like unless you were going to put this somewhere really, really risky, I would put that, or I would get the College of Artillery instead. I feel like that's a really rough thing to go without. And for the purple player, we've got, yeah, Culverin, Trebuchet, Mangonel. We got Camel Riders, Crossbowmen. None of them quite upgraded for the Imperial Age yet. He does have an issue with gold at the moment, which is probably the thing, because I don't see any gold mines on the map in a generous location for him. You'd almost be hoping to see... Yeah, I wonder if he should be connecting more stuff for that Golden Age. Maybe getting that out. Yeah, see, because the thing about the Abbasids is they really do... they have a great trade. Like, and he has the commerce wing up. So you'd think like even just like, well, 2 markets here, he would be exploding. Like, he'd be doing fantastic. He does have a market in here, but just squished like inside his base. It's kind of awkward. All right, well, yeah, here, let's see. Oh, yeah, let's see. One thing that you want to know is that trading with a neutral trade post gets you 20% more resources. So if you can leverage this thing, you really should. The only time it's better to go with like another player's market is if, like, for example, they don't have a... See, like, these traders are just absolutely wasting their time. I guess they do turn in quickly, but just 18. The thing is that a trader that travels a longer distance pays for itself, because even though it takes longer to come back, the amount of gold that it brings back is exponential. So it's actually faster over time to have them take longer trips. Maybe that's not obvious to a lot of people who haven't played like Age of Empires games for a really long time. And speaking of which, even though I am, let me take a look at the score. I mean, I'm up front by quite a lot. I'm still, again, it's just this stealth woods. Like, it's hard to think. You know, if the enemy has military up there, I don't want to just walk. See, just like that. They're just sitting there in the woods as soon as I march out. So I spread out my Arbalesters. I got my Knights in here. I'm going to start probing with them because they're nice and tanky at 364 hit points, 8 melee range armor. I don't have pop space for siege. This is just here to reinforce my Arbalesters. I have the ability to make siege if I want to. Same with reinforcing my cavalry. And here's what I do. I need to see. I'm not going to move up unless I can see. So what I do is I start slow pushing with outposts. And this turns out to be a fantastic idea. Because looking at the enemy side of the map, check it out. They don't see anything outside their walls. Whereas at least I've sort of restored, you know, that feeling you get on a more open map where you can kind of see things better. Like, these keeps can't see anything on their own without these outposts helping them out. You know, this outpost here, there. This side could use some outposts to slow it down because is where the fighting's going to start. Yellow comes in, and he's got the Rus bombards with the upgraded fire rate. So I'm moving in with my Arbalesters and my Knights. I'm maneuvering to engage with Teal and protect Yellow's siege, because if I can keep Yellow's siege up, then it doesn't matter that I don't have pop space for siege. Having a really good artillery civ, like the Rus or the China, in the pocket, like for the late game in a team game, it's a great option. The yellow players have the Streltsies out, which is fantastic. Streltsy is just a really great unit considering how good the hand cannoneer already is. Just being able to produce them at a discount, essentially. And not only do they have a discount, but they're actually better because they have access to double time if you research that. and they also have the static deployment ability. Like, just awesome. Just awesome. Anyway, military is thinned out a little. I do have reinforcements around and coming on the way. But right now I'm a little distracted because I do have purple making a move on my ally. And so to that end, he's not moving up yet, but he's taken out one of my keeps, and he's looking to start moving. So red's going to start retreating. I am still in the middle of a pitched battle here. These bombards, though, going for it. There we go. That I do have a single culverin in here just popping these bombards and these springolds. These bombards are just on attack move, which, like, fair enough. They're just going to keep one-shotting things, and they have a fairly good fire rate when you're playing as the Rus. The Arbalesters are doing a good job of keeping those Royal Knights at bay. They're doing their full 22 damage to them, even though those Knights are fully upgraded. See here, I don't have the artillery, so I'm telling my Rus ally to give me a hand. I've got cavalry incoming, because we see... I don't think purple knows. But yeah, we can see him staging here. It is no secret. We can, you know... We know exactly what he's doing, thanks to these outposts. So... Red's looking like he's in a pretty good position to take him out. But I just don't want to leave it up to chance, so I'm bringing in the Royal Knights to back up his spearmen and bowmen. And we're going to take out that purple army that has a frankly frightening amount of siege. See, there's a lot of mangonels here, and my ally's army is completely infantry. So seeing that, even though it looks like they should be evenly matched, not leaving it up to chance. So I don't actually get the chance to charge. Purple engaged on his first. And we do have these longbowmen taking a good amount of damage from those mangonels, but those camps are just getting a lot of value there, and making those longbowmen able to survive. Just, you know, one extra hit. Let's go to yellow's point of view. Our army is a little thinned out here. I got a decent amount of arbalesters if they want to push back, but there's not a lot for the culverin to do at the moment. We're mainly just waiting for the bombards to start breaking through this wall and take out this keep. And purple's attack over here has been decimated. We can see that red's army has been pretty much reduced to nothing, but that just makes me feel even better about having come over, because if I didn't, it does look like that the opposite player would have broken through, and then I don't know what they would have accomplished. I mean, they would have had to get through the Berkshire Palace and the keep. Like, they would have had quite a bit to do, but it would have just ended up taking us more time, and then putting red on the ropes at this point. We want to be able to coordinate in the middle here and start pushing. Let's take a look at their side of the map, which again, just kind of note on a map like this, see, they have stone wall towers and this big, beautiful stone wall to make them feel safe, but I imagine from their end they still feel backed in the corner because they can't see what's going on. But me, I know what's going around here. I know what's going on around here, and you know, this side of the map, I mean, I've got a new keep coming up. This is just a single worker putting it up, but these cavalry are sadly being forgotten about, but luckily they are French, so they're doing something. They're healing themselves at the very least. Pushing up. It looks like yellow has remassed. He's got... What is that? That is a lot of bombards. Let's switch to him so we can see. That is 12 Russian bombards. That keep doesn't stand a chance. Where's my culverin? My culverin got destroyed. The arbalesters are going to stand their ground. Yeah, they got their pavis up. And they're looking to just hold their ground, tank some of that springald fire, and trade against this infantry and these bows. Unfortunately, we do see a lot of these bombards are getting select fired by the teal opponent, but I do take my arbalesters and even out the artillery. So that all being said, there's still 8 bombards left. These longbowmen aren't going to do anything about them anytime soon. We have reinforcements coming in, which, you know, as you can see, there's not a lot of time left in the match. The British player doubles back to the front, seeing that Purple has not put up another offense. I don't even know what he's really doing at this point. He's massing up another army, but the issue is he should be he should be massing his army in his allies' base. I mean, to be on the receiving end, the teal side, he has 12,000 food. He has a lot of resources, but he doesn't really have the buildings to make use of it anymore. And seeing this multicolored army in your base, yeah, eliminated. He gave up. Honestly, that's good enough. I'd say he put up a pretty good fight, all things considered. The French player here, his shockingly inefficient trade line probably isn't going to give him the gold he needs to continue pushing back, and the game is called. So yeah, that was a fun match. I really do like this map. Watching it over, like when I was in the game, it felt a little bit more claustrophobic. It really did make my enemies seem a lot more threatening than they really were, just because it's you know, you can grab, like, my scout died pretty early on, and I didn't make another one, which I'm thinking I maybe just should have built scouts to just run around and see what's going on, because in a map like this, they're really quite, like, you need to get vision. Because walking around in Stealth Forest without vision, it's weird. It really does make you vulnerable to taking fights that you might not want to take. And especially in Age of Empires 4, if I could have seen my score lead, I would have pushed in, like, way earlier. But it's interesting because in Age of Empires 4, you don't get to see your score in game. So I can only assume, like, considering that even though it's quick match and doesn't seem to be ranked, there is a hidden MMR system. I do know that we are supposed to be being matched with people about our skill level. So with that being considered, oh, wrong match. I did, you know, treat my enemies with some respect, basically. But one thing that I would have done in that game, which I thought I was doing a lot of, but just watching it over, I would have built even more outposts. Like, just build outposts everywhere in a map like that. You want to be able to, you need to get your mini-map back. Which I love that about Stealth Woods, is it really does change the way vision works, because I know in Age of Empires 2, when you have the Town Watch upgrades, like both of the building line of sight upgrades for your buildings research from the town center, you can even just put up houses or any building really. You can see a lot, and they can see around trees too. Like, you can just put up, like, even like lumber camps can see through trees, and villagers. But in a game like Age of Empires 4, you know, knowing what's coming is really important to being able to position your units and know when to move up and when to not. Oh, it is just the colors are screwed up. So yeah, military score. I did have the most. We can see that lowercase here came just about second. I think that's honestly just because the artillery just punching through those fortifications and actually really giving us the power to get through those walls. Because if I didn't have him on the flank there making the artillery, I would have been stuck because I maxed out on population really quick, and I would have had to delete stuff to, you know, wasted money essentially in order to make space to make siege. And even then, the Russian bombards having access to that 25% faster fire rate is really quite significant. The English player on our team just did a great job of holding his ground and getting through the ages really quickly, and just having a large army to bring to bear, whether it was that attack on us in the beginning or just taking the fight to the enemy. and defending himself. So that was a fun match. If you've watched the entire video, thank you for watching. I'm probably going to record more matches soon. So if you see this one, and I've got a couple already on my channel if you want to check them out. I do play a lot of Age of Empires 4. I'm not super high skilled. I generally only play team games. If you're interested in seeing games at mid-level and just kind of seeing what I think about the game, then I encourage you to take a look. Thank you very much, and I hope you have a good day.